I looked everywhere. Everything's sold out because of tonight.
Oh yeah, the midnight release, all the kids. Come on, Joe. Well, what are you gonna do? Sit down, Joe, take a load off, and Devin and Jacob will be here soon. So let's start with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Not too sure.
Or as it's known in the UK, the Philosopher's Stone. Alright, I'm gonna go get some drinks. I'll be right back.
Hurry up. No. No. Xbox? The video game? No. Not again.
Wait, Joe, let me explain. This time we're just gonna... Hey, Joe.
Oh, man.
Are you ready?
I'm not playing those stupid movie games.
You're not?
Hell no.
I see. Well, in that case, Expellorum is shitty games!
What the hell? That's not even from Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's a little spell of my own, Joe. Only use it in time of emergencies. And this is quite an emergency.
Dang.
Welcome back to the wonderful world of movie license games. The best things that I can say about these two games, along with the last film that just came out, is that it got me introduced to the world of Harry Potter. By now you must have heard of how awesome the last movie is, how great the franchise is on a whole, how it's this younger generation's version of Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. I never really cared about Harry Potter, especially not when he first came out, because it was nerdy or uncool to like Harry Potter, and I just never bothered. But as the movies went on, I caught one on TV, and I found it pretty interesting. There was intrigue, mystery, and a bit of powerful magic.
Do nothing! He's mine to finish!
I got hooked, and so in prep for the final movie releasing and these video games, I went out and had a Harry Potter marathon with my friends, watching all of the movies, and it was a lot of fun. It's interesting to see these characters, and actors for that matter, grow along with the movies. The storylines, they get a lot darker and more mature as things go along. I recommend the third and the last movies myself. Even so, I never really thought the Harry Potter franchise would translate into video games very well. And that's especially the case with Deathly Hallows Part 1. Because honestly, not much happens in that movie that's game-worthy. It's just a big build-up to Part 2. But EA pressed on anyway and took our lovable Hogwarts schoolmates and turned them into Call of Duty soldiers with gun wands and a cover mechanic. Hallows Part 1 is a third-person shooter that follows the movie storyline very closely through cutscenes with only slight variations and many more Death Eaters in between to make it more gamey. As a fan, you might get a kick out of this for a while, but that'll soon fade as the dread of repetitive and shallow gameplay sit in. Your main method of defense against enemies like spiders, Death Eaters, Snatchers, and Pixies are your spells. You lock onto targets and fire at them with the triggers. It's sad though that the only spell worth a damn in the game is the one you start off with, Stupefy.
Stupefy! 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 Stupefy!
The only other helpful one is Confringo, which blows up rocks in your path. But the other 6 spells are worthless. It's just Harry and company screaming over and over again, Stupefy! 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 Harry also seems to be able to level up as you progress, but you would hardly know it unless you hit the start button and saw a tiny indicator. Apparently, I was at level 18. But despite the game's insistence that my spells are now more powerful, it took me the same amount of shots to kill the same enemies. Pointless, disingenuous window dressing to make this game seem deeper than it really is. Speaking of that, this game breaks up the shooting gallery monotony with these side missions, with the excuse that Ron or Hermione need to rest or research something.
The cap should be hidden. But maybe Ron can still find us if he comes back soon. I mean, he knows the sort of place we'd go.
And so you'll get this pop-up with a screen with 3 different side missions on it. Fight against more of the same enemies that you normally do. Sneak around in awkward first-person mode under the invisibility cloak. Or rescue a certain amount of Muggle-borns. Dirty, filthy Muggle-borns.
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
It's a bad word in the Harry Potter universe. Trust me, you were shocked right then. But you have to play through all of them, so there is absolutely no point in giving you an option. It's forced. It's just annoying level padding. There are 21 core missions, 6 of which are just backtracking the way that you came. And as you grow pissed off with this chore of a game, you'll soon realize that you didn't have to do any of it. You could just run through the entire game without stopping. And once you know this, it is impossible to resist the urge to do this when you're fighting and it's so damn repetitive. Either way, you're gonna beat this snooze fest in just 4 hours or less. Aside from that, they did include a Connect Challenge mode, which are really just 2-minute long on-rails shooter bits, which have you up to a max of using 2 spells, one of which has to be, wait for it, Stupefy! Stupefy, 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 Stupefy! Does that seem normal to you? Does that seem Harry Potter to you? Stupefy, 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 Stupefy! You can also cast spells silently. Stupefy! Dumbledore would be ashamed of this travesty to see what has happened to the Harry Potter franchise in these video games.
Please.
It's enough to break even the world's most powerful wizard. None of the Harry Potter intrigue, mystery, or thriller elements are in these games at all. You don't learn anything more about the lore. You don't get any cool tidbits of backstory. The collectibles are shit. And you don't learn any new or interesting spells not seen in the films. Nothing! Without any worthwhile content in the game, it's a complete waste of time. Worse than that, it's torture. I'd rather eat all the nastiest flavored Harry Potter jelly beans. Like dirt, soap, earthworm, rotten eggs, and worst of all, boogers. I'd rather eat 10 booger flavored jelly beans than play this game, and I'd like it.
Ah, Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. I was most unfortunate in my youth to come across a vomit-flavored one. And since then, I'm afraid, I've lost my liking for them. But I think I could be safe with a nice toffee. Alas, earwax.
As for Deathly Hallows Part 2, well, that experience can be summed up like this.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I shit you not. Immediately after I turned it on, I beat the game. I'm not joking. If you thought Kane and Lynch was insulting, then wait until you get a load of this. Deathly Hallows Part 2 is exactly 2 hours and 52 minutes long.
2 hours and 52 minutes?
For $49.99? Are you fucking insane? That is only about 20 minutes longer than the actual movie itself. How? How is this possible? I bet you if I replayed the game, I could knock off another 50 minutes from that, making it shorter than the movie it's based on. No wonder you're no longer allowed to just run through the missions on this one. They put up invisible walls and turned it into escort missions for Ron or Hermione, so she could take 15 minutes to open a fucking door.
I'm worried about Hogwarts.
And it must be horrible with Snape as headmaster.
Since when did it take so long to cast the open the lock spell? You are the worst witch ever! God!
Hamora!
Hurry up!
Working. Cover me, Harry, while I try to open it.
Anyway, Deathly Hallows Part 2 makes more sense than most for a video game, with the whole wizard war and the climactic battle with Lord you-know-who. Because of that though, the wands are even more like guns than ever before. Individually, these spells are now slightly more useful, so you'll find yourself spamming Stupefy slightly less, though you still do a lot. With these new spells, you'll be doing things like sniping enemies in the distance with Petrificus Totalis, breaking shields with Expelliarmus, pulling out a rapid-fire machine gun with Expulso, and using homing missiles with Impedimenta! Homing missiles! I don't really need to tell you, this is not at all how the spells work in the books or the movies.
Harry Potter's here! Our army approaches! Nowhere to hide! It's dead!
And with all the extra time that the developers had to make this game, since it's only 3 hours max, they did decide that it was okay to put a tiny bit more effort into the actual gameplay. They probably actually listened to the feedback that they got from the angry mothers and grandmothers who bought their kids this crap. Well, good for you. That's what you're supposed to do. It's now easier to switch spells as they are mapped to the buttons. 2 each, double tap required to get to the second spell. The AI actually seems smarter, actually using cover, not standing out in the open like a moron. And now because magic now mimics modern ballistic weapons, which is fucking bullshit, the individual spells are slightly more useful in the way they designed this particular game. Some enemies require that you use a spell to break their shield first, or to knock them off balance, but that's it. You also get to play as other characters in the Harry Potter universe defending the Hogwarts castle, like Minerva, Seamus, Ginny, Ron, Hermione. This was kind of cool until you realize they function exactly the same as each other. There's no varied spells. One doesn't feel more powerful than the other. In fact, Minerva walks slow as molasses. This is a huge wasted opportunity.
Protego! Confringo! You will not set foot in Hogwarts!
Like I said before, they fixed the fact from part 1 where you can run through the levels here in part 2. I doubt they did this for good intentioned reasons, but instead to pad out the game so that it isn't quite so embarrassingly short.
Come on, Ron.
I'm doing my best. Almost there.
What's more is that the pointless, forced side missions and the terrible connect experience are dropped completely from the game. The right thing to do would have been to improve these. Nope, they just dropped them from the game entirely. And it wouldn't have been hard even with the strict development time excuse. You make the connect sections limited to very structured wizard duels. When you duel a wizard with a blazing light show and mechanics to show off a struggle. Take those crap side missions and give them exploration or RPG elements talking to NPCs. Learning more. Gathering information and clues. Now that would have been brilliant.
You're a little scary sometimes. You know that. Brilliant, but scary.
Thank you, Ron. Come on, people. 8 games in, and this is how you repay the loyalty of Harry Potter fans. Dropping any notion of innovation within the world of wizardry. Opting instead for a mix between Call of Duty and Gears of War. Slapping it all together with escort and defense missions, and then slapping us all in the face by it barely clocking in at 2 hours and 50 minutes. Who the was this game made for? Honestly. It's not Harry Potter fans, and it's not the rest of us. It's not Call of Duty fans, it's not Gears of War fans, and it's not for any fans. The most innovation that you get to see in this game is these cinematic running sections that'll give you fun for about 15 minutes.
Expulso!
Come on!
Behind you!
Never!
So this being the last game and all, surely you expect Mr. Billy Badass, I'm the badass wizard of the badass wizarding world, Voldemort. You expect that showdown with the final boss battle to be awesome, right? Wrong! He is easier than Beatrix, his bitch lieutenant. Only this time you face him multiple times until you get the final wizard face-off. Extremely disappointing. Lame. Both games are huge letdown in an otherwise amazing world of magic, spells, and wizarding. I don't know about the other games in the series, but I'm willing to bet they're the same way as these. As for these games, the final verdict for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, the video game, is a 2 out of 10. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is confusing as hell. At first I was like, well, the gameplay has improved a little bit, until I realized it doesn't even clock in at 3 hours. For a full price game, it drops the side missions and the Connect support, and it's substituted with escort and defend missions against waves and waves of enemies. Top it off with an extremely disappointing battle with the Dark Lord that could have been so much more. And did I mention it's only 2 hours and 52 minutes? For taking several steps forward and then several steps backward, it too ends up at a 2 out of 10. Both are terrible games. They're not for Harry Potter fans, and they aren't for anyone else. Take everything you know about the films in the book, half-ass it, and then throw it in a third-person shooter with gun wands. There, done. Eat it, buy it, you buy our games. EA has now cashed in not 1, not 2 shitty movie license games, but over 8. And that's not even counting the spin-offs. At $49.99 each, that would cost you more than $350 to experience this garbage. You'd have to be under a spell yourself, willing to stupefy your face to buy these games. That money is better spent probably on buying the ultra expensive DVD box set of all the movies that is sure to come. You'll save yourself a ton of cash, and you'll be happier for it. There is nothing to see here. Move along. No, in fact, these games need to be forgotten. Be right back. I have to do this. And you guys thank me later. I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Oblivion!
Pretty good.
Where's the earwax?
I think it's that one.
I think it's vomit or earthworm or something.
You know your scar's on the wrong side?
I know. I drew it in the mirror and confused myself.
Second place, another year. Second, 472, second place, another year. Second,